Thankfully, 2020 is behind us, and with the start of a new year comes new beginnings. I recently spoke with Christy Beck, a licensed therapist and the faculty supervisor of the Her Clinic at Penn State University, about starting anew in the new year. Hi, Christy. Thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely. Good to see you.
And Happy New Year. I'm so glad we said goodbye to 2020.
Yes. I'm very glad we're putting 2020 behind us.
Collectively. So today we're talking mental health and getting into the new year. And you say that this isn't a time to assess
Right.
your life coming out of the pandemic and what you want to keep and what you want to let go of.
Right. Exactly. So I think, we've had, for a lot of us, have had a lot of time over this past year to reflect maybe more than we ever have before. There's been a lot that's kind of been cut out of our lives. And so now that we have this time to reflect, and now that hopefully things will, I don't know if getting back to normal is the right word, but things will get back to some sort of sense of normalcy. I think now's a really good time for us to think about, what do we want to keep? What do we want to let go of? What was working? What wasn't working? So I feel like now's the time we can do that.
You say to look at this from a standpoint of time, money, and emotional resources. It's like a big three.
Right. So thinking about in terms of, sometimes, or in these, in this case, there's been situations where some of us have been out of work, or money has been tighter. And so we might have more limited financial resources than we once had. And so from that framework, what's really important? What are the things I really want to keep doing with my money? What are the things that I feel like I can kind of cut back on? And then, with time, which is another kind of, we feel like sometimes it's unlimited, but it is a limited resource that we have. And I can't speak for everybody, but I know for our family, I felt like before the pandemic, we were just like running all over the place, running kids to this place or that place or this activity, or, and even my husband and myself, just, all these things that we were busy doing. And the pandemic has really forced a lot of us to slow down and really take a look at, what's really important when we, again, get back to whatever our new normal looks like. How much of this running around do we really want to do? How much of it, do we want to keep up with? Or is now the time we're thinking, what, I kind of like this, some things about the slower pace. So what can I take out of my life so that we can have more family time? We can have more of a slower pace and not just running around all over the place all the time.
Now, we only have about a minute and a half left, but I think one of the most important notes that you sent to me, your emotional relationships, who fills us up, who drains us, and letting go.
Right. And then, another limited resource we have is our emotional resources. And I think, again, now, it's been a really stressful time. And I think during stressful times, we tend to find out who is really there for us, who really lifts us up, and then who tears us down. And again, going into this new year and thinking about who are these people in our lives? Who were the people over this past year that filled us up, that made us feel good? Those are the people that we want to be devoting our time to. Those are the people that we want to be carving out space in our lives for, because those are the people that are filling us up, as opposed to the people that are just draining our resources, our emotional resources, whatever. Not saying you have to cut everybody out of your life, but just managing your time and distributing it in a fashion that makes you feel better for yourself.
That nourishes you.
Right, exactly.
And that comes down to your choice.
Yes, right. And for everybody, it's going to be different. But I think that, we all have people in our lives that when we're around them, we feel great, we feel wonderful. And just making the time for those people, or making more time for those people, as opposed to the people that every time you're with them, your energy is drained and you just don't feel that great about yourself.
Amen to that. Christy, thank you, sir, for such sage advice, as always, and happy 2021.
Happy 2021, Casey.
When we come back, grab the salsa. It's time to get moving in this month's fitness break. Stay with us.